Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia for one final episode of this long-running series here on the Lord Master channel. Well, it's been a long, strange journey for Croatia. When I started this series back in June, that I originally thought that this was going to be the series where I would be able to accomplish all the missions, and then what now? Now what? But look where now what got us. It expanded to all around the world as we established Croatian presence in all continents. Hard to believe, isn't it? All continents. Makes me a very happy man. But now, as this is going to be the final episode, as we will be spending the final 5 years of this playthrough, as we all know that the timeline ends in 1821. And I hope that in those next 5 years we don't get involved in some nasty war that the Commonwealth started, even though I believe there is one ongoing right now, but they are about to finish it, so never mind. Never mind. So let's just hope everybody lives in peace, and hope there is no world war, because I never wanted to start a world war, unlike what I did with the Mughal Empire series, which was epic, but arguably with similar success, as I would look at statistics here. So this is how we did it for Croatia. It's our historical score. Number 1. We have the 5th largest army in the world, even though I could build more of the land force limit. But can we afford the manpower? But we have the largest navy in the world, the most provinces, the highest province value, highest income, and highest trade income. Amazing. Even though the rank we have a total score remains in 3rd place. We're ranked 1st in administrative, 2nd in diplomatic rank, and 4th in military rank. But as I'm a hegemon, it further increases. Yes, indeed, I'm a hegemon, economic hegemon, which is still building up a bit. Each month power changes to 50%. And probably at this rate, I think it'll reach 100% before 1821. And we are number 1 in the great power of the world, as development increases, as we're still ahead of Spain. Still ahead of Spain. Meanwhile, this is where we last conquered. There's Croatian Venezuela, Croatian Panama, and assumingly Croatian Columbia. And that's what we were trying to establish in this subcontinent. Croatian Columbia. And that's something I may have had an issue with regarding establishing colonies. Because I was thinking to myself, weren't you supposed to have adjacent provinces, to have 10 provinces in order to create a colony just like what you did with New Croatia and Croatian Canada? If that is the case, where I didn't do that correctly because I did it out of trade company habits, all I could say is, whoops, kind of screwed that one up. But, oh well. Oh well. At least there is a Croatian South America. I'm just happy that we established ourselves in Africa, Asia, especially Croatian India, East Indies, Japan, and even Hawaii. This is the Croatian Empire, which the sun shall never set. And over the years, we have made a lot of enemies. Spain, Timurids, Vijayanagar, France, and Ming. And even alienated a few of our old allies, such as Akkonulu and Karaman, which is due to me being a hegemon, that's the reason. but we still maintain the alliances with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, Revolutionary Genoa, Revolutionary Tuscany, and the Mamluks. Good to see that they still stuck with us the entire time. We only have one tributary state, and that's the Native American tribal area of Cree. A duchy. Okay, excuse me. Yes, a feudal duchy of Cree, which is over here. They pay a little bit to us. But now in the next 5 years, or next 3 years, I should say, I'm going to wait for these provinces to fully accord and see whether or not is it really going to establish a colony. Which, if it does, then I want to create a private enterprise. That's what Croatian Columbia is supposed to be, a private enterprise, because of trade company habits. I mean, look at the trade income we've made. Look where it got us to. I applaud to that. Very, very happy. Alright, took a drink. And 90% trade efficiency due to technology. The burgers way ahead of the diplomatic tech. National trade policy. Trade income increase. And in Parliament, the Sabor, which we passed the reduced trade regulations. And trading clothes is another factor. And of course we made a bit of fortune in gold. Especially down in Africa. With our African colony. Which is part of the Croatian territory, but in Croatian Central Africa, yes, there's plenty of gold to be had. And all that. And of those areas we took, this was just for the sugar, the coca, the coffee, and even Panama itself. Because when fully cored, we do have enough money to begin the construction of the Panama Canal. But you can't do that because it's being fully cored right now. That's something I would do. So that way our fleets can go across the Pacific. So we can have a connection to go to Hawaii. We have no desire to take Mexico, California, or anything like that. No way, no how. Oh, and one more thing regarding our enemies, the Timurids, since they detected our spy, which I did not pay attention to that, as is usually the case. Oh, I wish I could do that to you. Huh. Gotta support the rebels, which of course is very little of that happening. You know, we'll never really explore this. How about we steal the map from... No, 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 no. Because you have no units in the region adjacent to this one, so it's kind of too late. Let's sabotage its diplomatic reputation. Tell them that they are bad people. Now others will know what for the scum that they are. Stop bidding a spy network. Anyways. So let's begin the final 5 years. For now, we're gonna deal with separatism in certain areas. Such as the Doro, Scottish, those in Hawaii, English Colombian separatists, and of course that one over there in Sambulong. But I hope they all calm down. Hey, they're Scottish separatists. Go deal with them. Just to suppress any kind of potential rebellion. And we'll send a few home. That's our plan. This is where Scottish culture is. No, not trade goods, you... What makes it British culture? There's the English, there's the Welsh, Cornish, Scottish... Right. That'll keep them quiet. Not terribly concerned about English Colombian separatists. At least there's no overextension. Croatian particularists in here. Revolutionary General, what you're up to? Oh, that kind of war again. Well, it's not a major war. But, get to position. Protect the border. Glad we brought the Cossacks back to the Balkans. Yeah, why didn't you think of that? Panama have a great grand shipyard? Yes, sir. We're all upgraded. Ready to go home? We'll make a short stop at Tunis first before we take you back to the Balkans. Now, what else do I have in mind? Regarding the future of the Lord Master channel, knowing that this series ends here. Listen, I had a very great experience. For you four. These damn pirates. One of these days, I really gotta stop their piracy. I mean, this is what you guys are here for. Hang on, give me a moment. Just want the light ships to be separated. Protect the trade of Panama. Not the Caribbean. Panama. We don't have that much control over there. But this will work. That adds quite a bit more value to it. Tide. Well, if I ever have another merchant, I would send it to there. Because I lost a few back there. Probably should get that off of Tunis, despite the fact that trade company's there. But, you know, Alexandria is as good, as valuable as it is of that trade node. The reason it's very valuable is because of them. Granary of the Mediterranean. And obviously the Mamluks dominate that. That means they've landed in Tunis. Made their stop. Let them rest. Why the hell not? I never do this thing. This amount. My indulgence will reach the career coffers, and I will gain 1 yearly for the next 5 years. Final 5 years. You know, gotta do something with that. Since we make so much dang money, and well, let's give it to the church. How about her? The courier controller is Tuscany. Old friend. At least that inflation is going down because they're trading in gems. Well, we won't retain the bonus for long. You know, since you researched all that tech now, I think it's about time that we accept some cultures. Especially the long-awaited Turkish, because you see here in Zagrad, simply for the sake of it, because here at Zagrad, see, you're not getting the full tax modifier and the manpower that it brings, since it's one of our most developed territories. So there's room for promoted cultures. So promote the Turkish. The Crimeans do contribute. Do that too. Wish I could do the same for the, you know, accept the cultures of the Indians, but only because of, you know, certain advisors of mine. Now put a rest of the national focus towards administrative power. So maybe hopefully I'll get that last part before the series ends. The Commonwealth has improvements in coal mining. Over time, technology has greatly increased the output of existing coal mines, as well as making it possible to mine coal in many places where it would previously be unfeasible. Our coal mines are working at an unprecedented efficiency, and while the continued industrialization means that coal is in great demand, this demand can now be more easily met. The Commonwealth just got a lot of ducats, diplomatic power, and 6 production razia ports. Holy crud. Where is that to be exact? Oh, actually you can look up the areas where there's coal in Lublin. There it is. Part of Silesia. Coal country, one would think. But not really, because it's next to Olomouc, also known as in Czech. So that's base production. It jumped up big time. And Linye, down in our African colony, got tropical wood. The Commonwealth's got more coal than any other country. But then again, I'm content with trade income rather than production. Alright, come on. Back to the Balkans with you two. Zagrad. So that means you've won the war. Yes, sir. Forces of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth have utterly vanquished the Nuremberg Revolutionary Army. As idealists are rounded up mercilessly, The silent majority has turned to dusting off their old monarchist symbols. It's back to being a monarchy. There's revolutionary Frankfurt. Go get him. What else do I have in my mind regarding the future of EU4 in the Lord Master channel? Like what kind of future playthroughs I would like to do. Well, I can think of a few possible interesting playthroughs, but I would probably do it more for entertainment than anything else. Sail to them. Like, I can imagine doing a, again, not finalized playthroughs, not finalized plans, not etched in stone. I'm just throwing out ideas in my head. Like, I could imagine doing, a Texas playthrough. But, it would have to be colonized first, obviously. But not sure what kind of Texas. An American Texas or a Mexican Texas, which I'm talking about the culture. Like, say, how Mexican culture appeared. Even though it's not there yet, it's still Portuguese. Because if you want to be Mexican, you have to do it of an Iberian culture, like Portuguese or Spanish. Or in this case, Castilian, Aragonese, Catalan, Andalusian even. Galician, Basque, those kind of people. And if you want to be of American culture, you have to do it of a British culture group, which has to be English, Welsh, Cornish, and Scottish. Like, I can imagine doing a Texas playthrough. I could imagine doing a early United States playthrough, which the easiest thing in the world would be do it with England. But the United States can be formed by any culture. But Texas, you have to be either Iberian or British culture group, which it'll turn into Mexican or American respectively. So I can imagine doing a Texas playthrough, which would have to do it via Portugal because of the early exploration advantage you can go to. Which of course you would have to establish yourself in West Indies first before you get to there. It's the same thing if you were of England. But of course you would have to be dealing with ruling France if you wish to get to the New World. I could also imagine doing a, I don't know, Lubeck, because it's the only other country that I played as very often in my free time. Which during this time of the playthrough, conquered by Saxe-Lauenburg long ago. Don't know how long. It happened. Infiltration cancelled. Yeah. Because we didn't go to the World War with them. Hope not. Knowing them, they're probably going to attack poor little Akonulu. Probably so. They're not going to be at each other's throats for the Deadly Sultanate. What's France doing over there? Oh, Jawanpur's at war. They're kind of mean. Yeah, Ming's involved in a conflict because that's, well, Arakan. Livestock. Great. You know, if I had my druthers, I would like to create a client state, but you can't do that while we're at war. Would love to create a client state of Croatian Central Africa, knowing that I really don't do anything with that. What other potential playthroughs I could think of in my head. I mean, knowing that they will add new missions. I mean, by then, they've added new missions for countries of sub-Saharan Africa. I know most people would be doing playthroughs of that, but for me, I'm the kind of guy that likes doing completely different playthroughs, or playthroughs of minority cultures or lesser known cultures or countries that don't get enough of the spotlight. Like I did with Croatia. People often played as Bosnia or Byzantium, example of Balkan countries, but not a lot for Croatia. Hell, let alone the Republic of Ragusa. I could also imagine playing as one of those Italian minor countries for an Italian unification playthrough. I could imagine myself seeing that, knowing how all this turned out. Especially Tuscany. Florence to Tuscany and revolutionary Tuscany. I could see that. Impoverished artisans. Supported. You got the money? The former March of Switzerland has been designated to the vassal by Spain. It is a military dictatorship over there with a parliament. Good old commander. Venetian. You got it. For the morale of armies. Scandinavia declared war against Hamburg to crush the revolution. The term is up, finally, because we want a bureaucrat candidate. Milan Babonich. You will be our last ruler for this series. Yeah, that's practically all the countries I could think of what I would like to do a next playthrough on. Texas, early United States, Lubeck, an Italian minor country, likely Florence. Righteous. Good to know. That's what I have in my head at the moment. If I want to do an Italian unification playthrough. Or just go crazy with, you know, either early United States with its few set of missions, or do it with Texas where you get generic missions. I don't think Texas has its own unique missions, but they do have what is considered the most overpowered national traditions and ideas for Texas. More so than the Mughal Empire. I mean, when you look at it that way, it has to be in the Rio Grande region. That's how you form Texas. Certain areas you have to form it. But of course I would have to do it again, either as Portugal or England, if I'm really going to indeed do a text playthrough. But I highly doubt that I want to start a playthrough at 1444 so you could see either of these two countries where we would just, you know, take its time to colonize. Because if you're going to form nations of the New World, like you see those separate countries like California, Mexico, Colombia, Paraguay, and Chile. Oh, and don't forget Haiti. Never forget Haiti. You have to be of Administrative Technology 10. So that takes time. So I'll probably have to skip that over, then start the playthrough of when that nation is formed. And all that. The subversive ideals of the Spanish Revolution has taken hold of Sofia, Bulgaria, perverting the natural order of things. However, right-thinking members of the nobility will not accept this state of affairs without a fight. They rallied their forces and promised to drive out the revolutionaries of Sofia to give them our support. They shall have our support. I gotta put it down. No revolution here anymore. And if you want to, even if you want me to do a early United States playthrough, well, that's gonna require northeast and southeast to have a good control of it, as long as it's part of the North American subcontinent, and also be English. British culture, if you wish to form it. Stay off of Canada. But again, those are just ideas. They're not set in stone. I'm just saying stuff, alright? Of many, many potential ideas. Again, the amalgamate of Akunulu, Mastagoda. Oh, you view us hostile now. You desire some territories from me. Yeah, we had a definite falling out. You better not. And you know, seeing that Commonwealth there, knowing how great that they did. They're assisting Scandinavia. Long-time ally. The Commonwealth did very well for themselves in that playthrough, but... you know, there are missions for Polish and Commonwealth missions where they even take it to Zagreb. Constantinople, if you will. But they never accomplish that because of us. Send in the infantry. The humble foot soldier is sometimes looked down upon by the cavalryman, but he is the backbone of any army. A strong infantry attack could prove almost as devastating as any cavalry charge. Our infantry are rising to the fact that they are enjoying their day in the sun. You are the finest. Spain declares war against Bali. So yeah, that's another potential place for us to do. Why not Poland? Do it the Commonwealth playthrough and try to be as successful as the Commonwealth did in the past 2 playthroughs of Croatia and Delhi Mughals. It's like, if they can do it, so can I. And look at how far that the Commonwealth has expanded. All the way into... it used to be Brunswick, but it's Brunswick, the Polish spelling of it. See? Brunswick? Brunswick. The Polish spelling of the area. They even took Brandenburg, which obviously the name retains. Man. Oh, I mean, I could see these guys that they're making a course. So these are the recent gains that the Commonwealth made. This is for my Polish friends out there who are watching this. So there's Postupin, Grupin, Prignitz, Zelwin, or Zelwin, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Deswa, used to be Dessau. Hall, that name retains. Leipzig is now Lipsk. Goslar, name retains. Göttingen is now Gettenga. Again, my Polish pronunciation isn't the best. What? Did what you could. Oh, really? How long have they had that territory? That's Hamburg. Now it's Gorny Palatinat. Used to be Palatinate territory. Yeah, the Palatinate. In fact, the Palatinate is rather unique in itself, that it says electoral Palatinate, which is of Duchy tier still. Again, rather unique to them. But doing a playthrough of any of these little German countries as part of the Holy Roman Empire would be of difficulty. If you wish to be the emperor and try to form the united Holy Roman Empire, that is a very difficult one. That's a difficult task. Oh, jeez. Just took a drink of water. Tumbakas agreed to share the maps of Japan with France. After all this time of the entire Croatian playthrough, Brittany has never been annexed. Reason because of Austria. Even though we could take them on easily, but our troops are not in position there. And fighting against Liège. Where is Liège? Oh, over here. I ain't got time for that. Just want to live in peace, get rich, and everything else in between. At least nobody disturbed us. Check the separatism. Nope, they've gone away now. Everybody's calmed down. Increased demand for long pepper. Long pepper from Canal, that's in Croatian India. Fetch a very good price in foreign as well as domestic markets lately. So much so that it's given a rise in new generation of entrepreneurs and economic speculation. Which has step into limiting access. Or... hey, we want to get rich. Let us line regulations to really benefit the local entrepreneurs. Yeah, Canal, that's over here. Nope, it didn't drop. Good on you. So it didn't drop. So we reap the benefits. Hehehehe. Trying to think. But still, I hope you people really enjoyed that series, especially that I've done a lot of things, such as global trade, colonization. Oh yeah, still want to accept a few more cultures. Since Neapolitans do contribute because of the development, might as well add them. Pontic culture. No, that's trade goods, dummy. The only one that has a Gothic culture is that one. Theodoro. You don't build a university simply for the sake of it. Theodoro, the land of it, doesn't get enough love, to be honest. Even by most seasoned players, Theodoro doesn't get a lot of attention. I wouldn't play as that. I mean, the position it's in. And just to reiterate again, had this continued on this series, I would have gone for this final tier, the Croatian dictatorship. I would strafe in executive powers to add more maximum absolutism. Because back in the Mughal Empire playthrough, absolutism is way higher than Croatia's. Oh yeah, up there. Gotta do something with that military power. Get it up all the way. Come on, we're trying to get rid of this content. Come on, people. Help me. There we go. Full Republican tradition. You get all the good benefits, including reduced national unrest, so nobody gets mad at me ever again. Despite the slightly reduced stability. Which I'll have to get that up eventually, but no, we're trying to get this. Which we will next year. You know that production. I really want to replace somebody that's self-accepted culture. What culture are you? Bornean. You're Congolese, no. Neapolitan. Okay, there you go. Placing it. Statesman. Colonial governor. You are Greek. Placing. Yeah, I'm throwing a bunch of money at it. And plus, increased global tariffs means a little bit more income from them. He. Speed it up a little. I know this episode will end a bit shorter than usual because it's the final episode. But I already told you about my possible future plans. Okay. Prominent economists have been questioning the rapid increase in chocolate imports to our nation recently. After one of our neighbors came to control a large quantity of the world's known cocoa supply, with death practices, their confectionery has grown very popular even among Croatian people. Protectionist politicians are now questioning whether such imports of luxury goods benefit Croatia, arguing that growing dependence on a good which our neighbors control leads to gold flowing out of our nation. But a river of sweet, sweet chocolate is flowing through our nation. I don't need more mercantilism. I did all that just for the hedge. Let's have reduced national unrest. No more unrest. Chocolate for everybody. Trade company boom. Really. Our Croatian company of the Moluccas has had a period of steady growth, and a part of it is now starting to trickle back to Croatia. Take advantage of this trend. Our income is fine. We don't need to grab more free ducats. Now, it's only Croatia particularists in Bulgaria that they're taking issue. War's over. Peacetime. Hooray, live in peace. So I was saying, client state. Just looking into it, you cannot create client states overseas plans. Oh, okay. Never mind. Look again. God's sakes. I'm just looking, I'm not going to release it. Unless I see that's an option. Bruneian separatists. I'll give you a moment. Just look at the fancy names. No. None of them. Well, regardless, they're all Catholic. Son of a beeswax. Don't you know that's where the spice trade is? They'll ruin everything. Hey. Is there any nearby transports? Well, actually you sent them back to America. No, this one. Go pick it up from Yemen. for future reference. .65 development for Zagreb. Not as high as you know, Fatehpur Sikri, Central Doab during a Mughal Empire playthrough. Foreign quarter of Goa. For a long time, foreign merchants have been settling in Goa to better conduct trade with our country. Lately, however, hang on. With the intensified activity of the Republic of New Croatia... What? The quarter's grown into a city of its own. It's not without response. Our own citizens are complaining that the New Croatia community, is growing at their expenses. They demand to impose harsher rules on foreign merchants and curtail their activities outside of the foreign quarter. But these are our people. I'll say no, for once. We should encourage the foreign community to grow instead. You know, Croatian merchants were at Goa historically. But now, here's Croats from America to come to Goa. Meanwhile, tariffs on copper. The copper production in one of our colonies come to focus. Seems that it generates quite a lot of money, perhaps too much while privately taxed. In the spirit of mercantilism, we should force them to trade our copper through our ports instead. This will greatly benefit our own merchants and add a lot of income to the crown's coffers. Oh, this is New Croatia. Their liberty desire is lower than usual, so... Yes, get the tariffs up. After all, Goa is a world port. That we made it so. Because, and not to mention it's a fortress, we made it the unofficial capital of Croatian India. Because that's where Croatian merchants were. But they were serving the Republic of Ragusa at that time. So there was Ragusan / Croatian India. For those that forget. Son of a beeswax. You gotta go over there and fix that mess right now. And our religious unity was still high enough. You know what? Simply for the sake of it. You got the money. Do something with that. They're not gonna rebel. What are they gonna do about it? Alright, come on. Let's go take care of this problem. Again, how to get it up so we can get more power. And I love the idea of a colonial governor to add increased tariffs. People sampling new religions. Our policy of encouraging innovation and free thinking has led to our people taking a more relaxed attitude in the state religion. It's part of the humanist ideas we had. That's in Carpathia. I'll just say let them. My goodness, Diviet is still around. Ming no longer considers Croatia's a rival. Well, it's because we never fought against you in anger. Oh, they've annexed Hadramut. Oh yeah, they're still mad at us ever since we took their territory. Go in after him. You know, we're sending a bunch of lackeys over. About to be fully cored. They just went away. Let's stay there. Alright, construct the Panama Canal. Which of course, it will be done by 1829, so that'll be way beyond this playthrough as it ends. So, and are you sure it's not going to turn into a colony? If so, well then I screwed it up. And I would be willing to turn them into states, simply for the sake of it, rather than territories. Make yourselves at home. But actually no, because I still want to do that. There you go. What are we missing? So you got a plantation. A plantation. Ah, yes. Can all upgrade it in a state or in a trade company. Well, we'll turn them in a state in a month. Well, does it have to be called first, or just forget about it and just go with it? Nope, no colony. Actually, it is. All right. Now you can get the hell out of here. All troops must leave. So we did create Croatian Columbia after all. Okay, so now, just to reiterate you people one more time. So this is what the Crown Colony does, as we know, New Croatia and Croatia Colony. High amount of direct control from the overlord to contribute a good amount of money and manpower. As you can see, the benefits there. But I decided to choose private enterprise. That's what I had in mind. So, okay, so you have to have 10 provinces. That's what we learned here. 10 provinces, and they don't have to be adjacent, as long as they're in the same region. Okay, I learned one final lesson for this final episode regarding colonization. So, private enterprise, like there's a difference. There's no manpower bonus, but there is sailor bonus a lot more. And naval force limit. Global tariffs be reduced from a private enterprise. The following effects on Crown Colony versus private enterprises you see below. The difference is ship trade power propagation, goods produced modifier, and Navy tradition from protecting trade. So you have to wait for them to register. And you gotta have 10 provinces in the same region, and it doesn't have to be adjacent to one another. Good, good, good. Thank God. Now we must leave. Set sail. Back to the Balkans. Actually, you did Tunis. This is the original Mediterranean fleet. No, no, no. You're thinking of the one with the galleys. That's the Mediterranean fleet. You know, the one with the flagships. Latina. And this here, well... Go over here. Go protect somewhere. Alright, come on. Pick you up. And you'll be stationed in Goa. Everybody, it's moving day. Did we just get refunded, or am I crazy? I don't know, who cares? Build a Panama Canal for them. There you go, third subject. Private enterprise versus current colonies. You could see the differences again. Need to be here anymore. We did set out what we've accomplished. To Dubrovnik. We're all going home. Each year. I was about to say, well, we don't... I mean, the Mamluks hasn't looked at us positively these days. Ever since we used to improve relations with them, so we can't get favors out of them. But, there's good old Tuscany. Still with us. But obviously you make more money than Genoa. Because they're out in the middle of a war. It's one last favor I'll get out of you. I could have asked for the Commonwealth money, but nah. Don't want to burden them. So there you go. 1 month later after the creation of Croatian Columbia. What's your liberty desire? I didn't read that. 21%. And then there's your merchant. And we will assign the said merchant to there. See you in 77 days. Because there is some value to that. Wish we could do that to the Caribbean, but... If there was Croatian Caribbean... then, definite private enterprise. And what is English West Indies? Crown colony, or... Actually, it's currently fighting for a war of independence, so... Not right now. But it is an autocracy. Here we go again. Just as I was worried about. No more unrest. Oh yeah, everybody's at peace. I'm just stretching. Speed it up. Of course, revolutionary Spain would get ahead of us in development. But hey, second place. Not third, but second. Gotta be second best. Better than being third best. There's no such thing as third best. It's a stupid line of thinking. Four field rotation. There's your production efficiency. Done and done. It's a land force limit. Yeah, there's room. Do I still have that army templates? Yes. Yeah, I recall we didn't have that. So let's build that. As promised, just to fill that up on the force limit. Just don't want to be looked at as fifth largest army. At least increase it to some degree. Oh, good lord. Nobles demand. We have nobles? I thought they were long gone. We got rid of the nobility. Okay, just pay them off. Yes, it'll be in the negative big time. But do not worry. Our income is good enough that it'll get us out of it in a few months. After all that heavy spending on that canal. Welcome home. Position yourself in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We've taken a loan. Forcibly. And I will repay that loan in a few months. Because I don't want to have that in our conscience. It's a wonder how I never did this. Raise war taxes. For modifiers if you want to make even more money. France has declared war against Mexico to spread revolution. My goodness, you want to start the Mexican Revolution? You know what, something for the sake of this. Raise war taxes. I never did this before. But this is just to reduce the land and naval maintenance modifiers so we can just make more on the balance. Plus, it'll cost you nothing. Now, pay it off. Well, okay. Damn, wait a month or two then. Revolutionary Brazil. English Brazil. And it looks like England will retain their colonies. You said England, you mean Great Britain. Heracles Yepsilantis. One of our advisors, yes, one of our advisors, Heracles Yepsilantis, has greatly helped intensify colonization and increase stability in our colonies. Yes, more stability, more tariffs. Glad we have the Greek along. Now repay that damn loan. Now it's back to normal. Colony is self-sustaining. Again, never wanted to form those two trade companies there because value's not worth it. Increase the papal influence. Why on earth did we not convert during the last century? We could have gotten that soon enough. But hey. For the national tax modifier. Yeah, do that. By the way, Croatian Columbia, you have all these ideas, right? Yes. Yes, they do. And this is under Governor Krešimir Ozegovic. Scottish culture in England. Well, to be fair, because of who was there first. I guess that means your capital is... where is your capital? Oh, here. Cartagena. Scottish Croatian. Ain't that an odd combo? Scottish Croatian. Imagine Croats playing bagpipes. Those damn Timurids at it again. You know what? Screw it. Growth of regimental towns. As the army becomes a way to earn a livelihood for an increasing number of our subjects, the cities that house the army installations and barracks are starting to grow under the supervision of army engineers and renovators. And the growth has come to benefit the entire province. Here. Great. I know what I'm going to do in the final month on December. And since you just improved these centers of trade there, I guess that adds a little more for damned Columbia, but hey, as long as you're getting some income from it. Columbia. I mean, the merchant's present there. That's Panama, dummy! It's called Panama. You're making good money there. Better if it was the Caribbean, but greatly improved the trade value. So anyways, I will end that Croatian series on that note. Glad that we've established a private enterprise of Croatian Columbia. And it doesn't have to be a... Doesn't have to be adjacent. I'd love to see that. But it's already too late at this point. Cardinal exposed. Come on, can we not end this series on a more positive note? The Cardinal in Rijeka has been rumored to be of weak character, but has always been discreet enough to not warrant further investigation. Now it appears that foreign spies from revolutionary Spain who have had their him to put an end to this and expose this insatiable. His days as a cardinal are numbered. Our power to Korea will be weakened due to this untimely Spanish intervention. Who do you think they are? The Spanish Inquisition? What an undermined way to getting our influence. The colony is self-sustaining. And gasp. Great Britain is no longer considered a great power. Here's what I'm going to do in a final month. Let's use up this power. Let's develop Theodoro. Which is very ripe for development. I mean, it is part of the state of Crimea. And we wanted the Gothic culture to be a accepted culture as well. So get it up to 20. Okay, up you go. Oh, they're both. Yeah, you know, might as well. Let's make Pontic part of that too, even though they hardly ever. I could have developed that one, but you did what you did. Spend the rest. Yeah, you develop it quite too much. Make it a world port. Screw it. Because you know why? Not because I would be saying things like because I can. It's more of, you know, back in ancient history, this province here was the home of the Bosporus Kingdom. Yes. A Bosporus Kingdom, an ancient Greek colony. They had a capital there. So making that in the world port. So this is where it puts us in our own development. And no, we weren't able to reach it in time. So, you did what you could. Zarigrad's got a new cardinal. Plus this area isn't Orthodox. Is Orthodox. Isn't Catholic is what you mean. But nonetheless, as we will zoom out to the world. What a series it was. What a series it was. Let's hold it right there. Of course, revolutionary ideas spread into that part of Croatian Greece. But nonetheless, it's over. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, from November 11, 1444 to January 3rd, 1821. With the high score for Croatia of 16,265. So we've had the 4th largest army in the world, the largest navy in the world. We have the most provinces, highest province value, highest income, and highest trade income. We applaud to that. So, it was a very successful series. And if you people have been stuck with me since the very beginning of the series, all I can say is thank you very much for watching that series. So, yes, most provinces, because we have 209 provinces. It is the most stable. Prestige, got all the ideas. Barely able to get all the technology in time. Religious unity jumped up because we had to convert a few. And the manpower, I don't know if that's a max or it didn't, because we just wanted to increase size just to impress. And we've had quite a navy there. Mostly light ships because we became a merchant navy of sorts. And it's a wonder that countries like Norway and Brittany still survived, but lived in another continent. Spain was our main competitor, but we made it to the top. We went from a little Balkan country into a colonial and global trade empire. We did it better than the British ever could, some would think, but who's to argue? It's just an impressive effort for a country that is Catholic and Eastern Technology Group, who picked the ideas of defensive, humanist, diplomatic, economic, quality, trade, expansion, and offensive. These two were late additions because we weren't sure about Croatia's future other than, you know what, let's go around the world. And we did. From Zagreb to Honolulu, we went one part of the world to the another. From Madagascar to Manhattan. From the land that would be Tokyo to Panama. Croatia was everywhere. Everywhere you see, there's that checkerboard flag of the great princedom of Croatia. And that is the stark difference for a global empire. That it is a republic, not a monarchy. A parliamentary republic, not a constitutional monarchy. What a difference it made. But still, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this Croatian series that we've gone through all the trials and tribulations and never gave in to revolutions, never took part in any revolution. We just remained true to who we are because we had imperialist ambitions for riches and all that. And I'm sure I don't know about any seasoned EU4 players that have done Croatian playthroughs before me. But this stands out because this was the first Croatian playthrough under the Leviathan DLC. And ironically, Croatia was the very first country I played as in Crusader Kings 2. And this is the first country that I played as in EU4 for a recorded playthrough. I actually recorded episode of Croatia first before I did the Daily Mughal series, which is the auto-concluded series. So I will be taking a prolonged break from EU4. So we hope you people enjoyed this long-running series. So whatever the future might be, should I come back to EU4 to do another playthrough for the fun of it rather than some crazy ambition like I did with Croatia. As contrast to the Mughal Empire series where I followed all the missions, whereas for Croatia I did all of Croatian missions and I'm like, great, now what? And look where it got us to it. So, I am exhausted. I deserve a break. And now I can only focus on the Crusader Kings 2 series of Amalfi that's still ongoing. And eventually look forward to the Crusader Kings 3 series coming next year. As well as the possibility of the next EU4 series coming next year. Whether if it's, again, ideas in my head. Texas, early United States, Lubeck, Florence, and maybe Poland. Those are the ideas I have in my head. So all I can say is farewell for EU4 for 2021 for the Lord Master channel. And this is Lord Master saying so long for now.